Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Tony Alvarado Rivera, and I have the privilege and the honor of serving as Chicago Freedom School's Executive Director. And we're just going to take a quick moment to share with you some exciting things that have been happening during the summer. Chicago Freedom School and where we at right now at the Honeycomb Collective sits on the original homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Ojibwe, the Potawatomi, and the Odawa, and we want to honor and acknowledge their land and know that here at Chicago Freedom School, it's been an exciting summer, and we've been engaging with young folks to learn about our Indigenous work, learn about Black and Indigenous solidarity, and build community together. So I'm going to introduce you to just some of the folks who've been with us this summer, but before we do, at Chicago Freedom School, we're often going, and we just wanted to take a second to recognize and celebrate our work, as well as Leaders for a New Chicago Award for the 2021 cohort that I received. And here we're not the biggest on accolades, but we do want to take a moment to just share with you all that I am super excited to be a 2021 recipient of the Leaders for New Chicago with the Field Foundation and the MacArthur Foundation, who've been extremely supportive in our work, especially this past summer. And to tell us a little bit about the award, I want to bring in a person who I recently met through this avenue. However, I trust and know that our spirits have met before. And I'm so thankful to bring to the stage, if you will, we have Halesh Patel from the Field Foundation. Halesh, welcome.
Hey, Tony, how's it going? We are definitely old souls, old kindred souls.
Right? The stories we can tell offline. But Halesh, I just want to have you take a moment to just share a little bit about the vision of the Leaders for a New Chicago Award. And I was just thinking about how beautiful your title as Leadership Investment Program Officer is, and the importance of really, and I take this, knowing as a new executive director and finishing up my first year, it's so important to support radical and progressive leadership. Similar to us at Chicago Freedom School, we know the power of Black and Brown young folks, and we come together and we support their leadership in organizing and in any holistic way. And it resonates a lot with the way that you engage with our cohort, the way that you build with us. So I'm curious to hear just the vision of the work and how it's been going.
Yeah, it's everything you said just rings true. It's not our job to define, it's our job to honor. So I want to make that clear. Like this, the leaders that we recognize are already doing this work. They don't need us to define anything they're doing. In fact, one of the things you said in this introduction is like, we're not the biggest on accolades, and for many reasons, that's why you were chosen, because you and many of the other leaders who are awarded year after year are the people who uplift and support the capacity of other leaders. And that's what we're doing. We're looking for leaders in Chicago, and in some ways hoping not to define it and just kind of bring them in. And so it's a unique award. This is a partnership with the MacArthur Foundation. It's a no strings attached $50,000 award, 25 for the organization, 25 for the individual, trusting that both know how to spend it the way they want. It's meant to expand the definition of leadership in the city. And every year we announce these awards, it tells a story. And this year the story was, this is how we responded to the pandemic, and this is how we responded to an uprising. And this is our little way of saying, you know what, we got you, we see you. And the last thing I'll add is that this is also unique because leaders choose leaders. You are chosen by your peers, by the leaders from last year.
Yeah, and hopefully folks can go on your website and see the list of amazing, beautiful, and powerful leaders in Chicago who many of them I've been able to engage with, who I respect and honor. And as someone who is from Chicago, it also makes me feel so hopeful for our city, knowing that these dope folks are out here working to imagine something different and practice that. And again, that's something that we do here at Chicago Freedom School with the young folks that we work with and engage with and build with. It's with a tingly cringe that I had the opportunity to be honored with my cohort members through the Field Foundation, through a virtual celebration. And I took a moment to just take some deep breaths and just receive the love and the words that you shared from the folks who you interviewed through this nomination process. And I would love to step back and just have you share some of those words, if you will.
No, well, you can't step back. So this is full cringe moment for you. Yeah. So I will just say that this was a lovely way to honor and recognize everyone, because most of the time y'all are doing this work and you don't stop. And you don't do it because you want the spotlight. You do it because you believe in the work. So again, going back to what I said, this is a way for us to say, we see you and we got you. And can you please take a break? Can you please breathe? Can you please? So one of the things that I do after the selection committee identifies the awardees is I go out and I talk to everyone who knows you. I do kind of a round tour all across Chicago. I talk to everyone. I talk to community members. I talk to people who work with you, people you oversee, and I hear the loveliest stories. And so what I did during the celebration is I followed the same format with each of the awardees. I started with words and phrases that came up and listed them off, and then I shared a full quote. And when I was doing this, patterns emerged with all the leaders, like words, ways of thinking, themes that encompass the ethos of who all of you are. And you were no different, Tony. Like, people just wanted to say the loveliest things about you, which is lovely that I get to do this in front of you now and try to see if I can maintain your poker face, because I know you won't. But so what I'll do is I'm going to read off some phrases of what people said, and then I'm going to read a full quote. And then if you'll indulge me, I'd like to say a few things about Chicago Freedom School too.
Please, thank you.
So Tony, the protector, the auntie, our rock, Mama Tony, the kind of person you can't not be aloof around. You can't be in their presence and feel alone. Such deep care for young people. A fighter, incredibly creative, doesn't avoid conflict, immense resolve. And then this is the quote. They don't know this. I don't think I could ever tell them this. I almost didn't make it. I thought, this is it. This is my end. And then it was like they almost knew, and they pulled me out of it. They saved my life, but they do that for everyone. And we are so, so lucky. And, and it's a pleasure for me to share those words. It's a pleasure for me to talk to people and hear all these wonderful things, because most of the time, like I said, the leaders don't know that people are like, I also see you even when you're working. But I also wanted to note that this is a truly transformative organization. I'm so appreciative of what the Freedom School does, and that this space exists, and that you can walk through a door anytime you need, if you're a young person, if you're an old person. And I want to emphasize the intergenerational work, that there's a safe space, a space that challenges you, a space that loves you and it transforms you. And I know that this past year, 2 years, you've been like, you had like a fist fight with the city, you came out on top, and you became immediately responsive based on the onset of the pandemic. And you increased your effectiveness. You talked about movement building, built movement building in Chicago. You've been plugging into nationwide conversations, and just we're grateful for you.
Thank you so much. We are so grateful to you, and super excited for folks. The word is out. Halesh will be leaving the Field Foundation and will be going to the Invisible Institute as their new executive director. So felicidades to you.
Thank you. You're not rid of me yet, Tony.
I'm sorry?
You're not rid of me just because I'm going.
No, I'm excited. I can't wait to, once we figure out this pandemic, to be at a table together at a cute fundraiser, having a little drink.
Absolutely. And my support for Freedom School will be in perpetuity, as well as for you.
Gracias. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Monday. And hopefully we'll see you in community very soon.
Sounds good. Have a good rest of the day, everyone.
All right. Adios, Halesh. All right. So the Power continues. Thank you so much, Hilesh Patel over at the Field Foundation and the new executive director of the Invisible Institute. I'm sure many of you have heard that already. So next, I want to bring up, this is a busy summer for us, and I want to share some of the values of the 2021 Freedom Fellows. These values, as our first day, we come together and we create the space that we want to imagine, that we want to practice in, that we want to live in, that we want to thrive in, that we want to affirm in. So we have brilliance, curiosity, equity, freedom, growth, harmony, healing, health, honesty, joy, love. It is with love, curiosity, and honesty that we build a community committed to our growth and our healing as we fight for equity and freedom. Our commitment to joy is a reminder to the care for the health of our mind, bodies, and spirits, to allow for harmony and to shine as we engage in lifelong liberation work. In these times, we are ready to show our brilliance as 2021 Freedom Fellows, as part of a long legacy of freedom fighters. These are the value statements that the 2021 Freedom Fellows have created. This work this summer would not be possible without the beauty and the brilliance of, these are just two of the folks, and we'll get to meet some other folks, at least their names throughout the day. I wanna introduce you all to Trey and Essence.
What's going on, people? What's going on?
Trey and Essence are, Trey is our Summer Leadership Institute coordinator for the second time in this year. So much love and appreciation for you and for the work that you do, and the power, the kindness that you share with young folks, and the joy and the just silliness, but also just just allowing folks to be seen and be welcomed. And supporting you is Essence Jade, who's our youth program's high school fellow. Among many things, you may have seen Essence all around. And Essence Jade, is great to have you and just step up this year, who's a 2019 alumni, and really be able to welcome folks in, right? As you know, and hopefully you can tell us, it's weird coming into a space, one, in the middle of a pandemic-ish, two, bringing new young people together into this space, and what does it mean to walk in and talking about transformative justice, anti-oppression work, healing justice, all of that being new. So what I would love to do is just first, thank you all again for your work. And what does it mean this summer to bring in 25 young Black and Brown youth from across the city of Chicago to build leadership in organizing and activism? Tell us, how's it been?
You want to start?
Oh, okay. So this year we were able to welcome about 25 new Freedom Fellows into the program after having one of the highest numbers of applicants this year in just the history of the program so far. And so it's definitely been a beautiful experience, the opportunity to see and to connect with different youth from different sides of Chicago, of different backgrounds, and really empowering in a sense too, again, to see and to kind of redevelop this narrative of what it looks like to be a person of color living and maneuvering through Chicago, because we look at the different labels and we look at the different stereotypes and things thrown on the youth of Chicago. And so having it manifest in front of us a completely different perspective, and to be able to work with people who look like me is definitely an empowering and comforting and grounding experience for sure. Definitely love it.
Trey, you are a 2009 Freedom Fellow. So
2008.
Oh, wow. So our program, we're now in our 14th year. You were there in year 2. Tell us what it was to be there back then, and what is it now to be a leader among the group?
Yeah, definitely. 2008 was a very different space, a very different world that we are navigating today. But I first got introduced to the program by one of my high school counselors. He was like, me and a friend, he was like, I got this program for you all called the Chicago Freedom School. Are y'all ready to change the world? And we, only 16 years old at the time, we like, sure. So, just being new to the environment, learning about oppression, learning about the LGBTQ plus community, really for the first time, learning a lot of stuff that you don't learn in, public schools. So it was an opportunity for me to kind of step out my comfort zone. And I feel like a lot of young people around Chicago are getting that experience this summer. Learning how to, if you're quiet, learning how to, be uncomfortable and, kind of find your voice in this space. If you are, a real active and, loud person, but you got radical, energy, that's good. We love that. So figuring out how to, channel that, figuring out what it's like to be a young activist and create change in your community. And I'm just here to, help these young people navigate, be a mentor, and just, continue to push, the young people into a space where they can feel safe, brave, and continue to fight that oppression.
Word, thank you so much. So we're in our third week of the Freedom Fellowship. We started on August 7th, I want to say. What has the group been like, Essence? How has it been working with folks? And I also want to bring into the space, folks, we're in the middle of our summer right now. We are at the Honeycomb Collective in Humboldt Park. We have a group of young folks in Humboldt Park doing some relationship building work. So our other staff are Kaya, Parrish, Malik, Karina, and Noah. And then you'll meet our youth organizer who also joins us during the summer in a little bit, but it's a collective team for us, as well as Jacqueline Hamilton, who's the director of Wellness, Culture, and Action. So we have a whole team that we bring up. And so it's, not just, us, the two of you. So yeah, tell us a little bit about the group before we let you go.
Okay. So for me, and I think that it's important to uplift the experiences of 2020. And so taking that into consideration, just the political awakening that I think a lot of people had. And so regardless of if you were active in the streets, regardless of if you were on the front lines or anything, I think and not just specifically within the city of Chicago, just globally seeing like the awakening of like these protests and these marches and these rallies and all of this in honor of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and uplifting these values, I think seeing that definitely helped shift it and paint present rather a new narrative to many people who may have initially been unfamiliar. And so within Chicago Freedom School, what I've seen this year specifically is a lot more people who may have more experience or may just simply be extremely eager in a sense to develop this sense of political knowledge. And so whether you have the language for it already in this space or whether you're learning it within the space, this year, I think it's just beautiful for me again to see like this collective group of youth and young people in general coming together and learning how to navigate these experiences and how to name these feelings. It's like, yeah, I understand police brutality, but what does the root of it look like? How does it look like to address it and to solve it? And so working with these young people with different levels of experience, we have some people I was out on the front lines with last year, and then having like these newer people come in like, hey, I want to learn how to become active in this way. So it's definitely what I would consider a newer experience for me to engage at this level, but also definitely a brilliant and beautiful experience, again, seeing these youth with these transformative values coming into the space and working together and definitely empowering again.
Yes, love to hear it. So I know you both have a busy day ahead of you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your work day. I'm loving this backdrop at the Honeycomb Network. It's super cute. I can't wait to take different photo shoots. But again, thank you so much for your work. The summer, we still have 2 weeks left. And of course, we want to know that we are celebrating at the end in 2 weeks. So on July 31st, correct me if I'm wrong, since I know, we'll be celebrating from 1 to 4. So look out for an invite. It'll be a time for us to honor these 25 young folks who have dedicated Monday through Friday from 10 to 4 o'clock to come and build with us, learn about transformative justice, anti-oppression, healing justice, radical frameworks, bottom-up organizing, Black liberation, indigenous sovereignty. I'm really thinking about all of this intersectionality. So please join us. We'll have more information your way. And we know that this work would not be possible without your support. So you can always go to our website at chicagofreedomschool.org and drop a little coin, give a little donation, make sure you are supporting young Black and brown organizers. So thank you so much, Trey and Essence. I love and appreciate you so deeply. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right. Up next, we have the collective care team. So last year, this past 2 summers ago, it was a really difficult and hard time for us at Chicago Freedom School. And we were able to, thanks to your donations, bring together 15 young folks this past summer to pay them to support our organizing work efforts in the streets and also create pop-up work in collective care teams. So what I want to do is introduce to you our summer collective care team, and let's see who we have on. Hey!
Hey, Tony. Hey, Tony.
Hi. All right. I'm loving the masks.
Gotta stay safe. COVID is still out here, y'all.
Yeah. Great. Why don't we let us know who is on with you all. So if you want to share your names and pronouns, we would appreciate it.
Okay, I'll go. My name is Gray. I use he, him pronouns.
My name is Naya. I use she, they pronouns.
My name is Saleya. I use they and she pronouns.
All right. Where are you all?
We're in CFS. We're in the green room.
Yes, we are busy working. So much happening throughout. Are there other collective care team members with you?
We're gonna rotate out.
So I want to come say hi, introduce yourselves.
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
I'm Lil Tree, pronouns empathy, civil level respect, and I'm on the collective care team.
My name is Jasmine. My pronouns are also empathy, civil level respect, and I'm also on the collective care team.
Thank you all for being here. And we're missing some other folks too.
We are. They're coming in today. We're just waiting, but yes.
Yes. So if you can tell us, what is collective care and what work are you doing this summer?
Hey, everybody. Collective care is the part of CFS that nurtures the health and well-being of young Black and brown organizers in the city. And our goal is to provide health and healing services, both to CFS Freedom Fellows and to our own team, and then hopefully to the public. And that's our main priority.
Yes.
Yeah, in the summer, we're working on a healing circle that's going to be on August 2nd.
Save the date. Yes, that is our main goal right now of what we're working on, to do that and provide collective care to the community. So it's open to the community. We'll have flyers out soon, so just keep an eye out for that. Yeah.
All right. So know that thank you all so much for your work. The collective care team is also here to support any mutual aid efforts that are happening throughout the city. So we do have some supplies available for folks, or if you're looking for activities, or if you're looking for a group to engage your community with, the collective care team is available. They've all are skilled in many things, from healing circles to leading chants, to doing some healing work, some poetry and writing. It is a beautiful collective team. So thank you all so much for your work. And we will, again, if you want to connect to the collective care team, you can email Gray at mutualaid@chicagofreedomschool.org. All right, folks, thank you all for joining.
Bye.
So much happening at CFS. Up next, I'm excited to introduce one of our youth organizers, our first paid youth organizer who is an alumni of the Chicago Freedom School. So I would love to introduce you to JJ. Hey!
Hey folks, how are y'all?
All right, well, you are always on the move.
Absolutely.
Love it. So JJ, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I want to just hear what has been going on with youth organizing. What support do you need? How are we mobilizing, and how are we supporting young folks in our organizing efforts this year?
Yes, all of those things. I think a lot of what's going on right now with youth organizing, specifically at Chicago Freedom School, is we're heavily engaged with the Police Free Schools movement, specifically hashtag Cops Out of CPS. Which is a movement to to defund the police in school and remove them. So we're targeting SROs. We're targeting, if you don't know what SROs are, those are the school resource officers, which is the police officers in your schools. Also, we're targeting LSCs, which are our local school councils, and making sure that they're educated enough to make the right vote. On behalf of these Black and brown schools that are experiencing so much violence, so much, oppression, and all of these things that we're learning about during the summer in their schools. And, we're teaching folks to be able to be like, hey, you know what, that isn't right. We deserve to be loved on. We deserve, mental therapists in our schools. We deserve counselors in our schools. And yeah, we're just uplifting all of, just finding resources for Black and brown young folks instead of, policing them in their schools, in their communities. We recognize that also that, the intersectionality of that we see these people, kill us outside. We see these people murder our people. And, what does it look like for us to come into school and then see those people again? We also are, trying to get into the Final Five or moving into work with the Final Five campaign, which is also a campaign that is fighting towards liberation of, young and Black and brown young folks, trying to abolish all of the juvenile detention centers in Illinois. If you didn't know, there are 5 large juvenile detention centers that are just, dehumanizing and belittling our young folks. And, this is just something that we don't believe in when we say that we believe in liberation. We believe in liberation of all of our people. So, we have to take down anything that's rooted in exactly that, rooted in racism, rooted in oppression, all of those things, we're fighting, we're taking those things down. So youth organizing is, focusing on a lot of that, engaging young folks around the city about, mental health, about taking care of ourselves. What does it look like for organizers like ourselves to be out there in these streets? And, we're dealing with a great lot of violence. We're dealing with a lot of trauma. We're being triggered all of the time. And, that was a big thing about, I don't know, Tony, if you wanted me to transfer into the summer 2020 Freedom Summer 2020.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about our youth organizing retreat before we close out.
Yes, most definitely. So last summer, there were, like, as the world knows, pretty much, there was a big uprising around, George Floyd. And throughout that, so many young Black and brown young folks stood up and, and said that, like, specifically, like, even people we know, you seen today, Essence, JJ, Little Tree, Jasmine, we seen all of these young folks stand up and, go out into the streets and be like, you know what, this is the end. We're going to say something, we're going to do something. We're no longer asking, these people to do things, but we're demanding our liberation. We're demanding to be loved on. We're demanding all of the resources that we need. So during the summer, we actually got to, take a few, I think 20 young folks who have all had either a home organization or did some type of organizing over that summer. And we were able to, take 4 days, I think, out in the woods and, just, collectively come together and debrief what we saw, debrief about all of the things that, impacted us and just, I don't know, brought back my humanness. I feel like, I was able to be JJ. Like, that's what it felt like. It was just like, I'm JJ now. A lot of times, we don't get to talk about the effects of organizing and the impact that it has on us. And in that space, we were able to do that. We were able to love on each other. We were able to, find resources for each other. And so, yeah, I just think that was so dope. It was led by, Tony and Jax, who were teaching us so much about like leaving legacies and leaving, continuing on the same work that we were, uplifting. So, yeah, it was just a really dope Freedom Summer. Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to you. I love and appreciate every moment, from the beautiful conflict and tension to just like seeing you hold me accountable, to seeing you hold others accountable, hold yourself accountable, to like building and really embodying the work of the Chicago Freedom School. And as someone who's been with CFS for 12 years, I'm so thankful for your reminder to live truthfully to the values and frameworks of our work, and also just for leading us. So I want to thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out of your day. As you know, again, as JJ was saying, we have some campaigns that we are working on this summer, and then throughout the year, we'll have our youth organizing retreat. So we'll also have an opportunity for community members, for young people to engage in our work. Even if you are not part of the Freedom Fellowship, you can sign up for free workshops that will be launched tonight. You can go to our Instagram on our Linktree. We'll also send out on our Facebook pages, but there'll be free workshops with our partners. For example, Lifted Voices. They'll be doing self-defense classes. We'll be doing an Organizing 101 workshop. We'll be doing an Identity, Power, and Oppression workshop, adultism work, and it'll be all free for young folks to join us this summer until August. So JJ, thank you so much. Thank you for taking your time.
Right, thank you.
We'll see you soon. That was JJ. And as we close out our day, I want to again thank you all for taking time out to join us and just to learning about our summer. There are multiple ways for you to support our work. One, you can always make a financial contribution to support the leadership of Black and brown young people in our city. You can do so by visiting our website at chicagofreedomschool.org. If you go on our Instagram, it has our PayPal, our Cash App, our Venmo. Somehow we have it all. But also, we have some opportunities for folks to support our work. We are youth organizers plan field days. We'll be planning field days throughout the summer. So if you are an adult comrade who wants to get together and do competitive games with young people, have fun, create space in the city for joy, come join us. Our annual fundraiser will be in November. Moments of Justice, we're looking for folks to join our planning committee. So if you love planning events, making something dope and celebratory, come join us as well. Again, don't forget there's opportunities for you to engage. You can always connect with us over our social media, Facebook at Chicago Freedom School, Chicago Freedom School, on our Instagram and our Twitter. Don't tell me about Twitter, at Chai Free School. And you can find us and connect with us and build with us. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to continue building, continue learning, and growing with you all. Thank you to the Honeycomb Network for allowing us to be here today and being our home base. Right now, young folks are getting ready to close out their work in Humboldt Park and then do a mural tour. And then we're gonna come back and have some delicious Puerto Rican food at Nelly's. So again, thank you all so very much. Have a beautiful day. And we'll come back in 2 weeks as we close out our summer and share some more of the work with you all. Have a beautiful day. Peace.